Hello, Mr. Miller. It's Preservation Thursday, Preservation Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, good googly wooglies. Of course, merry melodies and Looney Tunes. Bringing us in. Why? Because property preservation is Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes, cut it out. Chilly morning. Hey, what did I say on GMO Tuesday about that Yankee mystique? Never count them out, ladies and gentlemen. Never count them out. Never count them out. Tip of the hat. Congratulations. Okay, we've heard enough Looney Tunes. Very, very interesting developments this week, ladies and gentlemen, in property preservation. Of course, Saw, he was asking Mr. Miller, Mr. Miller, you want to play a game? Would you like to play a game, Mr. Miller? Let's play Save the Membership. Yeah, let's play Save the Membership, Mr. Miller. Yeah. I noticed you got a little S on your website there, Mr. Miller. About time, since they're free. About time. Interesting developments. Seems there's a Florida company in a workman's comp controversy. Justice. I can't help it. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Perhaps somebody is not quite as compliant with all the laws, rules, and regulations in the great state of Florida that they claimed to be. I won't call out anybody by name. I will just say said individual that was bragging about how compliant they are with their tax people, with their independent contractor employee scenario, with their contract, with their state construction laws. Won't call him out by name. But I will say it's a member of NAMFS who happens to be the president. Justice. Hey there. How you doing, kiddo? How you doing? You gotta love it. You gotta love daddy's little girl, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. For those of you just tuning in, the backstory. There was a photograph circulating on LinkedIn. I fed it to somebody to push out into Facebook. I asked that person to put something on there like, ain't this a kick? Whatever. I believe the phrase they put, ain't this a kick in the head or something like that. Justice B. Smith took it upon herself to tell everybody how compliant her company is with all the laws in Florida. Seems there's a panic on this workman's comp issue. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. We will see how it plays out. Of course, Cyprix, there's another company down there in Florida. Cyprix doing stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, if your state does not require you to carry workman's compensation, if you are the sole proprietor of your business, just my humble opinion, you might want to carry workman's comp because it's probably the only insurance you're going to have right now. However, if your state doesn't require it and Cyprix is taking 9% from you and not providing insurance, go back and get all your money back because they have stolen from you. That's from an attorney I spoke with this morning. I don't know what to tell you. Safeguard. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Safeguard. You know, he talks about Safeguard a lot, that up-to-the-minute fraud reporting guy over there at foreclosurepedia.org. If there's fraud going on, he's reporting. He's reporting. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Let me see here. Let me find. Is there hope in recruiting? I mean, think about this for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. My biggest complaint about recruiting over the years has always been you're looking for a job and they take advantage of looking for a job. They take advantage of the fact that you come into the scenario thinking like an employee. And I'm not saying this to be bad or put a negative connotation on anybody. I want you to think about this. It's kind of emotional. And I understand it, but take a step back and just take a deep breath for a minute. Were you in the business opportunities section where you were looking when you found a job? Were you in a franchising class put on by SCORE, the SBA? Where were you when you stumbled upon the property preservation industry? And let's make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, call the spade a spade. Every single one of us, including moi, fell into the property preservation industry. Might have had something to do with the ad. Let me tell you how I fell into the property preservation industry. I had an ad up said, "We'll work for food." That's what the tagline said. Inside it said, "I'm hungry. What do you need done?" That's all it said. I get an email one day. "Can you mow a lawn in Fallon for me?" I send them back. I have to charge $80. She sends me back a thing. "I can only pay $35. I can't help you. I'm sorry." My phone rang and we have a conversation. The first thing out of this gal's mouth is, "What if I can give you 200 lawns?" I said, "Well, that would be fine and dandy, but I'm not doing them for $35 a piece. And who are you to give me 200 lawns?" She goes, "My name is Maria and I work with Fannie Mae." "May I?" "Yes, you may." I cut her off right there. I knew where it was going. "Yes, you may." I didn't get $35 a lawn either, ladies and gentlemen. I negotiated a whole lot better. I minimum 50 on a lawn and a maid is what we were getting going in. Then field assets got involved. Anyways, when people get involved in this industry, it's general labor, maybe a skilled trade because they're looking for somebody that can do plumbing. I got some notes over here from a conversation this morning. We're going to get into some messy stuff here because apparently Wells Fargo's primary outlet is Premier Asset, who is dumping into Brookstone, who is dumping into Goody, who are all members of National Association. And now you know why I call it management for stealing, because there's Wells Fargo, Premier, Brookstone, Goody. Three hands that work is going through. It should not be going through. It should be coming right to you. Why do I say it should be coming right to you, the contractor in Williamsport, Pennsylvania? Because there's a Wells Fargo office in that town. Think about it. Reno, Nevada, there's a Wells Fargo. There's 18 Wells Fargo banks. Las Vegas, how many Wells Fargos are in Las Vegas? Why is the mortgage on a property in Las Vegas being held by Deutsche Bank? In Germany. Yeah. Think about that. Let that sink in. I've been getting a lot of calls lately and a lot of emails have been coming in, ladies and gentlemen, on what can I do? How do I go about this? What do I do? First and foremost, let's start. Maybe I'm going to put the board up here and do a special report over the weekend. I think I might have to do that. We'll get the chalkboard. We'll get the dry erase board out and make a diagram here and spell it out. Number one, Do your due diligence. This company's recruiting you? Okay, fine. Let them recruit you. Do you know how to do a break-even analysis? Do you know how to do a break-even point? $3, $4 inspections. Look, and he'll tell you too. What the heck was his name? Oh God, it'll come to me. it'll come to me. Abraham, that's his name. Abraham. Abraham. Oh gosh. I'm drawing a blank. Abraham Perez. That's his name. Abraham Perez. He has been involved a long time in the property preservation industry. But when I first met him, I met him at a networking event that I organized to get everybody at the same table to talk in the area, all the contractors. And I told him, I said, hey, look, you guys all keep accepting work, so you have to think about how much you're really making. How much is your time worth? Like, you guys have all taken lunch out today, so I'm buying lunch, not a big deal. You guys are buying your soda, it's all good. I said, but think about this. How much is your time worth? And he goes, this one guy, his name was Abraham, and he goes, I kind of understand what you're saying. He goes, but they add up after a bit. I said, yeah, 1,000 inspections is $3,000. I go, but how much did it cost you to get that $3,000? Did it cost you $500, or did it cost you $2,700? If it cost you $2,700, you have to ask yourself, is that 1,000 inspections worth the $300 at the end of the month? That's what you got to ask yourself. Now, I showed him how to do a break-even point and a break-even analysis on everything he's doing, and I helped the guy out. He got back to me the next day, and he goes, wow, now I really feel stupid. I go, what do you mean? He goes, I'm working for $1.22 an hour. $1.22 an hour. That's why I have always been an advocate of pay yourself. Get an accountant on board with you to understand what you're doing. If you need help, I put spreadsheets out over the years. I still got them. Still got them. Safeguard. This is a call going out to everybody. I need Safeguard's mold policy, whatever it's called. Hang on. I'll pull it up. Dear Safeguard contractors, Safeguard has amended the mold policy. I would like to see the entire mold policy. If anybody has a copy of that, please get it to me, because what I have read is illegal in California and Nevada. They can't do this. They can't force you to do this. And what they're doing is very dangerous. Make no mistake about this. And I want you to put yourself, here's what I want you to do, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what I want you to do. You just got through doing the microbiologic antibacterial, spraying the bleach on the wall, wiping it down, and putting on, what did they call it? They gave it a, I love this. Come on, open up. They want, if it's wet, you have to leave your thumbprint in the photograph on the wall. That's what they want now. Are you kidding me? Didn't you provide your thumbprint for the background check? Oops. Okay, antimicrobial treatment is bleach and water and an application of stain blocker. Okay, you just put this treatment of bleach water, antimicrobial or whatever they're calling it, antimicrobial treatment is what they're calling it. That's not even a word. It doesn't even sound like a word. And a stain blocker. That is mold treatment. No, it's not. Now, I want you to think about this for just a minute, okay? You didn't do that. Somebody else did it. But you and your wife just bought this brand new house. And you're all happy. You got your little 2-year-old in your arms, man, and you're going in the house, and it's all great, and it's all wonderful. And 18 months down the road, little Susie starts developing a breathing ailment, and you start noticing something on the wall in her bedroom. Put yourself in that place, ladies and gentlemen. Where do that couple go? Who do they go to? Do they go to you because you did an illegal service? Why do you think they all want you to carry E&O covering them? Why do you think they want you to carry general liability naming them? Wells Fargo should be going to you, not them. Mold should be treated by a mold remediation specialist company, not you. It's still chilly here, folks. It's only about 45, but I don't know how to stress enough that all these people out there that think they're Bob bitchin', and they brag about, I mean, like I said, I've seen people that have bragged about $140,000, how big the total of their chargebacks were. Like, that's a badge of honor. No, that's being a stupid idiot for not going and getting your money. That's what that's being. That's an idiot who lets somebody take $140,000. There are people that don't make that in 10 years. Working their butt off at a minimum wage job. You're going to tell me you're going to let a company, what do you think, ladies and gentlemen? You think the guy said he got beat out of $140,000 in chargebacks. Do you think he's telling the truth? Or do you think the button should answer the question?
Warning, warning, bullshit alert.
Yeah. Is Roe Enterprises in compliant with Florida law?
That was bullshit.
Button said it, not me. I had nothing to do with it. I just asked the button the question. Ladies and gentlemen, get me the mold, because I'm going to start putting this in front of state people who can do something about this. I'm going to stick this in front of the contractors board. I'm going to stick this in front of the licensing boards. And I'm going to start right here where I am in California and Nevada. That's how we're going to do it. That is how it's got to be done, ladies and gentlemen. You have to push back on them. If they are not licensed. For example, let's take this scenario right here. We know Wells Fargo's licensed everywhere. They got an office in every state. 90% of the cities. So we know they're licensed, but they send the work to Premier Asset. Now, Premier Asset sends the work to other places. I don't care if Premier Asset is sending the work to Brookstone to be subbed out. They're getting revenue on that. They're making money on that. Okay, this is how the money pool has gotten so diluted. This is how Roe Enterprises offers you $20 to go install a lock and then takes 21% of that. Let that sink in. $14.60 is what you get for a lock. Huh? Is that even minimum wage? Think about it. They're not even a top-rate subber. Wells Fargo got to be paying them more than $20 a lock. More like 75. But let's take this, for example. Wells Fargo goes to Premier Asset. Premier Asset goes to Brookstone. Brookstone goes to Goody. Okay. Wells Fargo's office that they sub the work out of is in Georgia. Okay? So they're on Georgia's tax thing. Okay, now we go to Colorado, where I don't know where these companies are. I'm making states up. But we go to Colorado. Okay? Now, Premier, of course, is in Colorado. And they're making money by subbing to Brookstone. Brookstone's in New York. So far, so good, huh? But because they're making money in New York and they're not licensed in New York, they're violating business law. Now, Brookstone compounds that problem by not being licensed in Oklahoma, where Goody is. And then Goody subs all the work out, and they're not licensed anywhere else either. Does anybody put this together? Can anybody not see this? Mr. Miller! How do you not see this, dude? For 10 years, you have built this industry into a pyramid scheme. You have allowed corruption and fraud and theft to go on a daily basis. You have recruited people like Jay Kaczynski into the organization, who you knew was stealing. He was on a crap table putting pictures on Facebook while he owed $500,000 to people. And you did not say a word. You let him become a member after objections of members. Over the objection of the membership, you allowed him to become a member. Mr. Miller, you can no longer say you don't know, because you do. You do. You do know. And here's, I'm gonna start beating this drum. I'm gonna beat this nail till it goes right through your forehead, out the back. This was over $42 by one of your members. That's how this whole mess started. 42 stinking lousy bucks. 42 bucks. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're supervising an organization that is called the leading trade association of an industry. I have to be very measured here. You know your membership is violating law. You knew it back in 2010 when you didn't do anything after the booze check decision. Hurst v. Booze Check let you know that everybody needs a license in every state they're conducting business in. President of your organization right now, I cannot find a license in Atlanta. I cannot find a license in Georgia, I cannot find a license for them in Alabama or Mississippi where they claim they're subbing work. That's the president of your organization, violating state law, state business laws in 3 different states, crossing state lines, cheating people with electronic means. That's RICO. That's a RICO violation. And you know it, Mr. Miller, and you know it. But yet, you do nothing to steer the organization down the right road. You keep doubling down, allowing people to become members. Oh, and by the way, speaking of NAMFS, folks, speaking of NAMFS, you're going to love this. I talked to a person that was actually there. And I said, hey, we're getting reports that, only attendance was like maybe 50% capacity. And he goes, excuse me? He goes, there were maybe 35 people in the entire building. We didn't even go to any of the breakout sessions because we were so embarrassed for the people speaking. Many of the people were putting their presentation onto 1 or 2 people. Mr. Miller, wake up. Or how about this? Membership. Maybe it's time for new leadership from everybody. Now, we have to address something else that came in this week. IFAS secretary, IFAS press secretary. There's going to be, the membership, the board of directors needs to make a statement. They need to do something. We need to put a podcast together, maybe do a round table on the phone. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But there's too many questions out there, and people are starting to think it's a type of money grab or something. They want to know what's going on. So perhaps it's time. Let's do a thing. Do you have a question for IFAST Board of Directors? Aladay, up. Let's get the angel girl out of the way there. You see that spelling, Aladay, ALADAY, LLC, at the Gmail, ladies and gentlemen. Send me your question for IFAST. IFAST Press Secretary. Let's put it together. Let's get a roundtable going. Let's get the board of directors on there so we can ask questions and people are comfortable. I got all kinds of people wanting to know, but I have no information to tell them. I can't tell them. And IFAST Press Secretary, you know me. I'm not going to blow smoke up someone's skirt. We're going to tell it like it is. You're going to tell it like it is. So let's get IFAST on board here. Let's get, when it comes, I'm going to tell all members of labor right now the same thing I told people in the GMO on the GMO technology issues. I've been saying it for 10 years over there, and I've been saying the same thing for almost 7 years in this industry. First and foremost, we need education. But if you're labor, use a little common sense. If somebody's telling you it's okay from a cubicle in Miami, Florida, and you're in Boise, Idaho, do they know your state laws? Do they? Don't be afraid to ask them. Don't be afraid to push back, because that's what business is. Do you think Donald Trump got his billions of dollars because he just rolled over when somebody said no? He found a way to get it done. So what if he filed bankruptcy? He was going by the law. I mean, you can bang the guy whatever you want. You can bang him all you want. But when you actually look at what this guy did, he's actually paid an awful lot of money in taxes. But he was going by the law. He didn't pass the law to benefit from it. He just benefited from the law that was passed. Common sense, folks. Common sense. If somebody's telling you, this whole industry circumvents every trade. I can remember cubicle monkeys telling me, oh, plumbers need to get on board and get over themselves. I said, excuse me? I said, tell you what. I go, how about if I come take a dump truck full of horse poop and we stick it in your commode and you get poop coming backwards into your house? That's a septic issue like you want us to deal with. That's a health hazard, ladies and gentlemen. Why do you think plumbers charge $80 an hour? Their insurance is out the roof because they're dealing with septic stuff. Come on. Common sense. Common sense should tell you don't take a generator and stick it into a dryer plug to power a house up. Common sense would say, hey, wait a minute. We're running stuff backwards. That's supposed to go out, not in. Power's supposed to come out of that, not into it. Hello? Common sense, ladies and gentlemen. Common sense. Common sense. It does help to know some of the building codes and, stuff like that. But common sense, a little bit of common sense will go a long, long, long way. And when you think about how you were recruited, don't be afraid to ask for help and don't be afraid to tell them no. You know what? If people would have started 7 years ago saying no to some of this stuff, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't have the mess that Eric Miller has supervised over the last few years. Got to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. You need risk assessment on your company, Griffin Security Services. Get a hold of Ray Griffin. You can find him out there in LinkedIn and on the YouTube, on the Twitter. He's on the Twitter, the YouTube, the Facebook. He's all over the place. But he's good on that risk assessment. Up to the minute fraud reporting, ladies and gentlemen. Fraud reporting, don't forget, we are looking for the mold policy for Safeguard. We are looking for a whole bunch of stuff. You got anything on Brookstone, Goody, Premier Asset, Wells Fargo? Send it to me. We're trying to put dots together. We got a road of dots going. We're going to get some good ones going too. In that Richmond, Virginia area, that cutie pie. She talked to me yesterday. She was all heartbroken. Where have you been? Where have you been? Your phone's not working. It feels great to be loved sometimes. Hi, Kim. Hi, Kim. Kim Savage. Women at work, ladies and gentlemen. Women at work. She'll get you squared away in that Richmond, Virginia area. There will probably be... Oh, before I get out of here, to everyone that kept the lights on, thank you much. Thank you very, very large. You know who you are. No need to point it out. I do thank you from the bottom of my heart. It was everything that's happened this week has been kind of humbling. It really is. But if you like what you hear, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the station. I got a new subscriber yesterday. Some GMO girl over, and a cutie pie at that. Another cutie pie, non-GMO girl. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about them GMO girls, man, with the one eyebrow and the growth on the back of their head. And oh, man, yeah. They're not non-GMO girls. They're cutie pies. I'm telling you, they're cutie pies. Hey, you can see we're getting ready to go trick-or-treating. I got Saw over here. We're going. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you hear. Subscribe to the station if you can help out. We're still in transition. Going to be for a minute. Probably another 3 months in transition, getting things squared away. But if you can, hit the website, give us a donation. Sure would appreciate it. Every little tiny bit helps right now. Keep the lights on. Keep the lights on. Ladies and gentlemen, again, Safeguard. We're looking for anything to tie Safeguard to the mold. I need to know about licensing issues, chargebacks. You got illegal chargebacks? Let's start bringing the chargebacks up. Let's start talking about chargebacks and how they do this, because once a service is approved, once a service is paid, all the policy they go through for them to come back afterwards 6-8 months down the road and say, it's illegal. I'm telling you, it's illegal. It's illegal. Start sharing information, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start passing it around. Let's start doing what we got to do to maybe stop this stuff. This is a viable industry. It's a great industry. There's a lot of good people in this industry. It's like I said, not every NAMFS member is necessarily inherently bad because they belong to that organization. However, they know what's going on and they don't say anything. They don't speak out. Nepotism at its finest. Let's have a great day. Let's all be safe out there.